game of Group 1. They were playing with Ireland, United States 1, Eastern Europe, Turkey, United States 4, and Canada 2. I'm going to have to switch some colors around because, as you can see right here, we have a couple of different colors. It's fine as long as they're the same in both windows. It's all good. So in first position we have Ireland playing as green. Now most of these, I guess all of these players are experienced, so they would know not to take bonuses. We did see these settings or similar settings in earlier rounds, and we did see some bonus games. So you can look back at those games and see the differences between how this game is played and or will be played, and how the round 1 or round 2 something games will be played. No, I think that this was the qualifier game final. The qualifier game final. So game 3 of the 5th qualifier round. Yeah, we have them in qualifiers. Yes. So, interesting setup. Also, black here is Turkey, played by Clive Chatterjee, in second position. Now for purple, we have the Hungarian Hammer. Oh wait, no. Yeah. In purple, we have the Hungarian Hammers Levy playing for Eastern Europe. Fourth position, we have blue, so I'm going to change that around because that is the G playing for USA 4. Then in fifth position, we have Risky Weather Guy playing for Canada, Canada Team 2. And then in sixth position, we have Brilliant Frog of White Meadow representing the USA Team 1 as orange. So interesting setup here because we have one team, if I'm correct, that has guaranteed their spot in the finals. Currently, the highest point total behind the Netherlands is Ireland with 130 points. So they've guaranteed their spot. Because if they win, obviously they move on. And if anybody else wins, they still move on by total average points. Actually, we already know who has a guaranteed spot in the finals. That's Ireland, United States 2, and Canada 1. United States 2 and Canada 1 being in the other group. So for this group, it's pretty interesting because there's 2 nations that could move on without winning, depending on what the other groups do and who wins. So that's United States 1 and Eastern Europe. So orange and purple in this case. They could still move on if Ireland wins this game, and for example, United States 2 or Canada 1 win the other game. For either of these, it would still be possible if Ireland wins this game and anybody else wins the other game, depending on who gets the highest points here. So US 1 is on 110, and Eastern Europe is 109. So currently that would be US 1. Otherwise, everybody needs a win, and of course, a US 1 and Eastern Europe would prefer a win as well. Exactly. Eastern Europe could pass USA with only a single bounty, and then if Ireland wins, and I guess if anybody else wins and doesn't pass them, right? Could they still be passed in points by anybody on the other group? England 1 has 98 points. They could get 12 bounty points, which would put them on 110. And England 1 got a pretty valuable games, so fewer wins. But I compared England 1 to England 2 earlier, and England 2 would win the tiebreaker at that point because they got less valuable games. But yeah, pretty unlikely 4 bounty game without a win, of course. It is technically possible. I'm guessing that we're not going to see that. We're probably just going to see the let's say that Ireland wins this one. We would probably see either US 1 or Eastern Europe in the finals. Oh wait, we should still pay out the previous prediction. So we could do a new prediction. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could always join us on twitch.tv/professional risk takers because you get a lot more interaction that way. We stream every World Cup game and also a bunch of other tournaments hosted by the PRT. There's just more interaction. You can chat with us. You can cheer your team on, etc. Always a good time. We also do have a second channel now on Twitch, Professional Risk Takers 2. So if you don't follow that one yet, we'd appreciate that. Really supports the channel. Sometimes we do have 2 games going on at the same time, so helps us broadcast both of them. All right, I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Prediction is up. Who do you think is going to win this game? Obviously, it is Prague World Dom, so I would always be looking at the players in 3rd and 4th place first, and then I'll be looking at where are people kill guarded, where's the lines, the kill lines, all that kind of stuff. So I would be probably looking at USA 4. Do they have good lines on Canada? And then do they have good lines on USA 1? And then I'll look back at Eastern Europe. Do they have good lines? Turn order is perfect for creating the most endgame drama here. Yeah? Maybe. I mean, I always want some US on US aggression. That's always nice. USA 4 does seem to have okay lines on Canada here, right? This 3 points at the 3. This 2 points at the 2. This 4 can move into that stack, as can this 3. This 3 can hit the 1 and the 4, and this 3 in the corner can hit the 6. Now, they would have to make a choice, because if they want to point at Canada, they would have to stack on the 3, which means they cannot use that to stack on USA 1. So they would kind of have to make a choice here. Or they would just use whatever trade they get. So they have to line up perfectly on Canada and USA 1, and then when they trade in, put it all on the 3 there in the corner. 3 least experienced players in the best seats. Which one would you include in the 3? I guess, of course, Carter and Brilliant Frog of White Meadow, the most experienced here. Would you say Risky Weather Guy is less experienced, or Clive? And is the G not that experienced? I don't know. I think the G is pretty good. I mean, obviously doesn't mean the same thing, being good or being more experienced. And actually, I do like first position on this map. Because it's less likely that, the person in 3rd or 4th position will actually go for the kill in the 2nd trading sequence, which means that in the 3rd trading sequence, the player in 1st turn order actually has a good shot. Oh, Trunk with a nice take. So Trunk is currently close to the Golden Slayer award in this tournament. So if anybody in 4th, 5th, or 6th wins this game, then that's good for Trunk for getting that award, because everybody in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd position here already has a bunch of bounties. Now, there's several awards that are granted each year. Of course, the winner awards, But you also have the golden dice, the golden slayer, and the golden roller. What's the song's name? Actually, I'm not sure. This is Papa Roach Scars. Where it's Papa Roach. Do you think Golden Die is the most prestigious? I mean, I have good vibes. I have good vibes hearing the Golden Dice words. I think it's the least technical one. But I guess wait, oh, those are actually connected. The 1 and the 3 are actually connected. I think there's a difference in getting a technical award, like, oh yeah, you get the most points or the most bounties or whatever, or getting a less technical one. That's a combination of points and overall plays and stuff. I wouldn't say more prestigious, but you know, it does have some good vibes to it. Or, Mitch, is the Golden Dice more technical this year? Or is it a vote? Golden Dice is any of the top 10, but the broadcasters and match hosts vote. Ah. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Overall best play, most valuable. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting that the broadcasters and hosts vote. I don't know if the players or the viewers like that, but I guess it's a fair assessment because the hosts and broadcasters have been there the whole time. So we're getting closer to the first set of trades. Now let's look at all the positions, right? So what I want to look at first is whether the players in 5th and 6th position are kill guarded well. So if you look at Canada here, they have a sack in that pocket here, guarded by 3 different players. So 1st, 2nd, and 6th seat, which is great for them because they're most likely to be killed by either 3rd or 4th seat. So that's great for them. Then they have a spot here in between a couple of different colors, right? So they have Eastern Europe here, they have Turkey here, and there's a tiny USA stack. And then USA 1, USA 4 on this side. So it's going to be annoying for them to be actually killed in the second trading sequence. I don't think there's anybody with a nice path to them. Maybe no, it's really tough to get to this 6 for Turkey. So I think the easiest lines on Canada would be USA 1. But they would have to be lucky with trades because it just doesn't work out with the turn order. Now USA 1 themselves, they don't have really nicely guarded positions. This 3 is harder to get to because there's a couple 3s in the way and there's 5 from Turkey. But if you have enough material there, then you can get through a 3 pretty easily, especially if you only need to hit a 3 afterward, right? It is nice that they started on 12 territories. GG. See, roller, yeah, golden roller is just most points per game, total average. And the golden slayer is the most total bounties. Yeah. Now I like USA 4's position here. USA 4 has this a 3 in the corner, so you know if it comes to pass that that somebody has to go for a kill, it's not very likely that they'll go for USA 4. Which means that at some point, USA 4 is going to have the opportunity to go for a kill themselves. And they can come out of this corner, but they also have a stack in the middle here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways out. They have access to this corner because of those 2 stacks. So yeah, they're pretty much everywhere on the board. I think in the third trading sequence, they could almost look at everybody here. I just don't think they could go for the Canada kill, which would be their most wanted kill. I don't think they'll be able to go for that because if you have this many positions, it's kind of hard to get a big enough stack to go through a stack and then hit the 5. Blue on red, you think USA 4 would go for Canada? I think that 5 is just a little bit too rough. I think it's more likely that USA 4 would go for USA 1. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but not that expensive, I think. Well, maybe this 3 is just... Nah, this 5 can get both of these, right? If they get enough on this 5, they could go through Bolu, hit the 4, go through the 2 here, hit the 3. Oh, this 7 can hit the 2, and then go through... I guess that's also... It's either of these could go for the 5 here. This 3 could hit the 4, this 6 could hit that 4, this 5 can go through that 3. Oh, wait. This 6 could also do that. You know, they have... I think they have great lines on USA 1, but not... Although USA 1 just took a card with this stack and lost a troop. So now it's easier for them to actually go for for Canada. Now this is a lot better. Because that 3 is small enough not to be in a bad spot. Although it could help a little bit with this single one. But yeah, if the USA doesn't put anything on that 3 in the bottom, then USA 4 would have a great line on Canada. Now let's look at lines for Eastern Europe, actually, because they are in third position. Third position isn't that bad. I think on this map, it's pretty unlikely to get a good kill, especially with this level of play. But I'm expecting not to find great lines here, but, you know, maybe they do. I think they have... what I'm seeing here is that they have great lines on Ireland, if Ireland doesn't get a trade on 4. But I don't think that's worth it. Maybe in the third trading sequence, if they don't get a trade on 4. Right, because Eastern Europe can get to this 4. They can get to this 5 with the 7. This 5 can hit this. This 3 can hit the 7 and the 1. This 6 can hit the 4. This 2 has lines on that 4, and this 3 can take the rest. So I think in the third trading sequence, if Ireland does not have a trade on 4, Eastern Europe could take that if Turkey doesn't have the lines. Does Turkey have the lines? No, I don't think so because of this 4 being guarded here. So yeah. Unless Turkey has lines on Eastern Europe, which we could look at. This 6 is hard to get to, but it's only a 5 in the way at the moment. So if they have good lines on the rest, that would be okay. They have lines on this corner. They have lines on the 7. They have lines on the 5. They have lines on the 2 and the 4. And they have lines on the 3 and the 2. So I think in the third trading sequence, third trade sequence, we could see Turkey go for Eastern Europe. This is actually great. Wow, look at that. USA 1 moved away from that position, so they could just slip in here. USA 4 could just slip in and keep that position lining up on the 10. I think if I'm Canada, I see that happen, I'm very upset. I think I would be very upset. So, you know, if I'm USA 4, I stack everything on the 3, move 2 down. But if they do that, we might see Canada hit that stack out. But of course, this 6 can just move in. If that stays there, right? They can just sweep the whole thing. USA 1 doesn't think USA 4 can chain it, so they're leaving it open. Well, it's almost their turn, so I would say let's listen in, right? I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit more. All right, so I think we can listen into to the US here.
Everything here, make 2 attacks, leave a 3 here.
No, I wouldn't leave the
No,
3.
don't leave it there. No, because yeah, then they don't guard me. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, somebody can move in. I just add everything and come down here. It's only a 2 between me here, but it changes his like path of attacks. Yeah.
Do you have a set?
I do not. Him adding there is good for me. Like he already has this. Okay, that's less good. Ooh, hit the 1. Yeah, hit the.
Yeah, exactly what I thought. Canada is very afraid. They see the lines. They see that they could die. Let's see if the US is interested in taking that guarding position again. But I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that.
Okay, so do I move down there then? I think I still do. I think that's a better territory, anyways.
Do we line up red now?
Actually, though, yeah.
That is actually very smart. So I would say that Canada does have a trade on 3, because if you skip and you do not have a trade on 3, then that doesn't help you. I would say if you have no trade on 3, that just having no set there would just practically kill you in this situation. That does put a target on the USA 1's back, though. Considering they have to win, I don't think they should skip. Well, if you're in 5th position, there's 4 people that could have no trade on 4. So if I'm in 5th and I'm sure to die if I take a card, which in this case would be the most likely, right? The USA 4 lines on me would be so strong, right? That I'm sure that I'm gonna die. And there's 4 people that could just sit on 5 cards, and the rest could trade in. I think most people here would actually not trade in by choice because it's very unlikely that they do die. So I think in this level lobby they might not. It might not be as useful. But again, next trading sequence it's the same thing, right? 4 people who could have no trade on 4. Canada to confusion tactics. I don't think it's confusion tactics. Right? I think it's fine for most people not to trade on 4 in this on this map in the second trading sequence. It's very unlikely that it's actually worth, unless if Ireland doesn't trade and then Turkey does trade for safety, and then Eastern Europe trades for safety, and then USA 4 trades for safety, then Canada could trade in on 3 and kill Ireland on 5. Do they have the lines on Ireland? Yes, yes. Yes, 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 and yes. So that could have been a thing. So Eastern Europe does trade in, I think, for safety. I don't think they are going for a kill here. Is that lining up on Turkey? This seems to be lining up on Turkey. They're saying, oops. All right, they don't have enough. Yeah, they're just taking a card, and yeah, that's not enough. That's absolutely not enough. Their whole group is in VC. They chose this. Well, no. So you don't skip again. You can take a card if you're on the if you're here. But then you're kind of in the same situation, so you don't lose anything by doing that. Now, if you survive and you have no trade on 4, that is very unlucky. But I think you only skip if you have a trade on 3. If you don't have a trade on 3, you just take a card, either way. So you're thinking that Ireland would go for the Turkey kill. See, they do have a trade on 3. I think this is good. Right, so they definitely survive for the next trades. And then if they have a trade on 3 again, they can do the same thing. Ooh, wow, wait. Oh, they actually try to go for Ireland. I'm not sure if they have this. Oh, they lost the 99% chance. Oh, that is terrible for them. Look at that. That is an 8v4. An 8v4. 98.82%, guys. That is so unlucky for them. But even then, it would have been still pretty unlikely to get the 6 stack and the 5 stack. Because an 8 on 6... 8 on 6 is only 72%. And an 8 on 5 is only 86.5%. So even then, even if they got the 8v4, it was still very unlikely. I don't think that was the right play. Going for that Ireland kill was not the right play. All right, so USA 1 actually guaranteed a spot in the finals now. Not. I mean, if Ireland or USA 1 win. If USA wins, not a guarantee to final. Spot in the finals. What am I talking about? But if they win, they get a guaranteed spot in the finals. Yeah, and Ireland already made the finals, so that's not even that bad for them. Turkey is out of the game. I mean, out of the tournament. Look at that troop disparity, 172. Brilliant Frog. Getting the 5 cards. Does not double trade them. He has to hurry though. Alright, he got it within the time. GG's to the G's. And Frog. If he can make this in time, he would have the troops to actually go for the Eastern Europe kill. He just has to hurry and not run out of time while doing so. Alright, he doesn't get it, but he's on 5 cards and there's no way to actually kill him. So not an immediate sweep, but he definitely wins this game. There's no way to actually come back from this. Yeah, Mitch, that's true. So Eastern Europe still has a shot if Canada 1 or USA 2 in the other group, and if England 1 doesn't get 4 bounties. But yeah, that's an extreme hypothetical. All right, trade on 5 for Brilliant Frog of White Meadow. Already filling out this bounty. Making it easy for themselves. Right, just setting up the win before they actually go for it. Beautiful play. Just always make it easy on yourself. Right, there's the bounty on Eastern Europe. They're not out of the tourney yet, but most likely, I guess more than likely they are out, but we'll see. We'll see later today, actually, what happens. And the slow roll for the win, complete disrespect, sweep for Brilliant Frog. White Meadow representing USA Team 1, guaranteeing their spot in the finals with a win in Game 3.